Walker, his last name.
Okay, we're here with elite boxing trainer Manny Robles. You're taking your fighter into war tomorrow, Saturday, against what's his name? Surreal Matias, big puncher, Batir Jukumbaye. He's from Kazakhstan. He's one of your newest fighters. Can you tell us about him?
He's an explosive fighter, undefeated, 18-0, 14 knockouts. Southpaw, quick, explosive, strong. But we're gonna have our hands full. Surreal Matias is an excellent fighter, physical, strong. It's gonna be a big challenge, but we're at the highest level, man. We're at an elite level, and there's no easy here. And as you can see, it's a great card. It's an evenly matched card. Most of these fights are evenly matched.
It's a great card.
It's a world title eliminator. Don't miss out on it, because that's going to be an explosive fight. At the end of the day, you know, we're here to win. May the best man win. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fireworks for sure.
What would this win do for Batir in the 140 division? What do you think it puts him in?
It's a title eliminator, IBF title eliminator. So what does that mean? Hopefully we get a shot at the title at 140.
Josh Taylor.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps it could be. I mean, we don't know that. I mean, we don't know what Josh Taylor's going to end up doing, right? Is he going to, continue being? Is he moving up to 147, or is he staying at 140? We don't know that. We just have to. We're not even thinking ahead, to be quite honest with you. We got to get through tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, then we can look on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. How did Josh Taylor look, by the way? Did you see the fight?
Great, man. It's a great fight. I don't take anything away from Jose. Jose, man, one of my favorite fighters. He fought his ass off. Got off the canvas not once, but twice. And it was a close fight. I had it even. If it wasn't for the knockdowns, it was a draw in my opinion. I had it 6-6.
Yeah.
But you obviously get two knockdowns in two different rounds. That's a 10-8, 10-8. So without that, I would have had it a draw.
Literally the day right after ESPN released their pound for pound list, they got Josh Taylor up there. I think number 5 or 7 or whatnot. Is Josh Taylor pound for pound material right now at the moment?
Absolutely. He beat one of the best. He beat Jose Ramirez, man. I mean, this was for the undisputed junior welterweight title. Without a doubt, without question, he's definitely in the top 5.
Yeah. How good is Josh Taylor?
He's excellent. He's a great master boxer. Can fight you on the inside, fight you on the outside, crafty, difficult. He's got good defense, good footwork, good ring generalship. It's going to be hard to beat.
As you said, you don't know what you're going to do next. Obviously, you're not part of his team, but it looks like he could potentially face Terence Crawford next. Is he good enough to give Crawford a challenge?
Man, I don't know. I think it would be wise for him to get a couple of fights at 147, and before you challenge Terence Crawford. I wouldn't just go up to 147 and fight him right away. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And at 147 is stacked right now. It looks like Josh Taylor's on his way there too.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao, the older one in the division, man. He just announced his fight with Spence Jr. on August 21st in Las Vegas, man. What do you make of a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao taking on this kind of opponent at this point of his career?
When you have a Manny Pacquiao that takes care of his body the way he does, athletic, he's takes care of his body, as I said, inside and outside the ring. Really handles himself very well. He's good up here, which is the most important thing from what I can tell. I mean, you can never count Manny Pacquiao out, man. So look what happened when he fought Keith Thurman. Most people counted him out, and he beat him.
Yeah.
But it's Errol Spence.
Well, you worked
Keith
with him
Thurman ain't Errol Spence.
The amateurs,
Absolutely. I have a great deal of respect for Errol. Going back to the amateur days and being together with the USA national team. He's a great fighter. To me, he's right there with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are definitely right there for the number 1 spot at 147.
Yeah, they're both southpaws, so it might be a different look for Manny Pacquiao, but regardless, Manny is who he is. You can't really just go pick a sparring partner to imitate him for your training camp. What do you expect in this fight, man? Who do you favor stylistically? What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to be the last man standing when the dust settles in that fight?
I think it's going to be a physical fight. I think both of these guys are going to come in and give people what they want, the fans what they want, which is a great fight. Everybody knows Manny Pacquiao. He's never been in a bad fight, and Errol Spence has never been in a bad fight. So for that, I wouldn't expect anything less but fireworks.
Yeah. Obviously, you're not part of the fight, but if you could from the outside looking in, if you had any advice for both fighters as a trainer, what would you tell them, Pacquiao and Spence? What would you?
What can you advise someone like Manny Pacquiao that's seen it all, that's fought everybody, and then world champion, I believe 6 different weight classes.
Hey.
He's got one of the best coaches in the world, at Freddie Roach. What can you actually tell a guy like that? There's nothing I can say that's going to make a difference. You know what I mean? And with Errol Spence, obviously, he's the less experienced of the two, but he's the stronger fighter of the two at 147. Yeah. So he can crack, he can fight you on the inside, fight you on the outside. Errol Spence is just, again, one of the top fighters at 147.
He's the younger one, obviously. He was through the car. He went through the car crash thing. It looks like it didn't affect him much with his performance against Danny Garcia. Do you expect age and that to come into play in this fight now? Because Manny's a totally different fighter from Danny Garcia, or do you just?
I don't know. Let's hope not, right? Let's hope not. I mean, I believe that Errol Spence is at the top of his game, considering the fact that he was in a car accident, and we all know the story. But we saw him fight Danny Garcia, and he looked good. He looked spectacular. He won pretty much
every round.
Every round.
Yeah.
And it's Danny. Danny can. Danny's no pushover. I mean, Danny, very respected fighter. Danny can compete against anybody, and definitely has the potential to become a world champion again. They're fighting the best, fighting the best.
Yeah.
And now Errol Spence fighting Manny Pacquiao. It doesn't get any more exciting than that.
Yeah. As the division, maybe Floyd's still out there. He has a fight coming up June 6th.
I don't want to talk about that, man.
You never know if he can come back down to 147.
This guy, Jake Paul, and
Logan Paul.
Whatever his name is, versus Mayweather. I just, let's talk about boxing. Let's talk about real fights.
Yeah. But I gotta ask you, if they came to you for tips to train them, would you be open to that, or you don't take that kind of fighter into your gym?
Look, it's never happened to me. I've never had someone like, as a matter of fact, I just had a YouTuber come into my gym and we kicked him out of the gym. How's that? He's got 1 million followers. I don't give a shit if he's got 2 million followers.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This is boxing.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm old school. I'm all about boxing, fighters, real fighters, that is.
Yeah.
And I'm in a boxing game. You know what I mean? This is not a game.
Yeah.
Remember that. This is it. Boxing is the only sport you can't play.
Yeah. You don't have to disclose his name, but if you want to, you can.
Nah. I don't even know what his name is. Even if I did, I don't know. So, I spoke to the guy that brought him in, made a phone call and said, hey, listen, man, there's no room for this individual right here in my gym.
Yeah.
That was that.
Yeah. What do you make of what's going on in the sport with that, Manny? The exhibitions and Barrera's fighting June 19, I think, or July 19 or something. All these guys are coming back. What do you think of the sport's at? Is it healthy?
I don't know. Look. I respect fighters like Barrera and Morales and all of these guys, Chavez, all of these guys. They put their stamp in boxing. They made history.
Maybe they've earned the right for this.
They earned the right, absolutely.
Maybe,
they earned the right to get exhibition fights and get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got these up and coming fighters, looking for opportunities. I think it's only right for them to be the headliners and have these up and coming fighters on the undercards, so they can get some type of exposure and people can get to know them.
Yeah.
That I respect. That I can agree with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so let's hope that happens.
Yeah. In terms of them coming back, or now, like just about everyone looks like it's gonna eventually have an exhibition now. Is that good for the sport? Is it bad? Is it entertainment? How do you take it as a trainer?
It's a little bit of, it's entertainment, but it's up to the folks. I mean, there's a lot of people that these guys have a lot of fans, and fighters like Barrera, Morales, Soto Caras, and so forth and so on that are making comeback. These guys have fans. They have a big fan base, and these people want to see them. They want to see them fight again, even if it's a exhibition. But a lot of these fans, or a lot of these younger, up-and-coming I should say, younger generational fans that somehow they never got a chance to see someone like Barrera fight. This is a great opportunity. Someone like Morales, someone like Chavez. As we all know, Chavez is fighting in in Guadalajara and at the big stadium where the Chivas play. I'm a Chivas fan. Where and it's gonna be, man, it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people, a lot of these fans never got a chance to see Chavez fight. And how many, it was rare when Chavez made a name for himself and he became who he is today. It was rare for Chavez to even fight in Mexico. So for him to go back to Guadalajara and have all these Mexican fans show up and watch him fight, even if it's an exhibition or whatnot, you get a chance to watch the great Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, you can't. It's incredible. I would love to be there, but I can't.
The great Julio Cesar Chavez and his two sons, Omar and Junior. Junior's fighting Anderson Silva, the MMA legend. Junior taking on this kind of fight, some people say is probably the best thing for him. These are the kind of fights that he'll be more comfortable with. Are you okay with that kind of fight?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not. Look, I don't know. With Anderson Silva, we all know he's not a boxer. But I tell you what, he's gonna give I believe he's gonna give Chavez a run for his money. Yeah, Chavez Jr. That is. I believe he's gonna give him a run for his money because he's athletic. He's a fighter that takes care of himself. Obviously, you're venturing into a different sport, which is boxing. But I think he's got the right coach. With Nico, a good friend of mine. He's got the right guidance around him, so I believe he's gonna give a good fight, and he might even pull away with the win.
That would be crazy, man.
That'd be crazy.
Regarding this, just last thing, if you want to give your prediction on the Mayweather-Logan Paul fight, does Logan Paul stand any kind of chance, man? Will he even land a punch? Will he land a punch?
I've never even seen him fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got, to be honest with you. I've never seen him fight. I've never seen a guy, I don't know anything about him, to be honest with you.
He's just a YouTuber to you. Somebody that...
I don't disrespect the guy. Hey, listen, if anybody wants to go out there and pay the pay-per-view to go watch this guy fight, hey, go for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking entirely for myself. You know what I mean? I don't follow the guy. I don't know anything about the guy. I can't say anything about him really. All I know is that he's not a fighter. You know what I mean? These guys are fighters. Look around you. These guys are. This is what they do for a living. You know what I mean? They've been doing this their entire lives. And looking for an opportunity. We got a big fight in front of us on Saturday. That's a fight, brother. We got Matias. Our opponent from Puerto Rico, 16-1, 16 knockouts. My guy, 18-0, 14 knockouts. Shit, it doesn't get any better than that. So it's gonna be a great fight, and may the best man win at the end of the night.
And of course I gotta ask you, man. You and Andy Ruiz will always be attached to each other. I don't know if you bought his pay-per-view or not. Speaking of buying the pay-per-views, it's someone's choice. If you did get a chance to see his fight or not, maybe the highlights. Did you see anything new? If you did so, or what did you? I
can't give my opinion on something I didn't watch this fight. I didn't watch this fight. I didn't. So
any kind of highlights? Nothing.
Just whatever they posted on what was posted on Instagram. Really, not every. But I'm busy, man. I'm busy. I got my stable of fighters. I was in Vegas last week. I'm here today. 2 weeks ago I was in Mexico.
You have been busy.
And so forth and so on. And we got some fights coming up.
Miami as well.
Miami, and we'll be back in Vegas in a couple of weeks. And back in Texas and so forth and so on. So
experiencing all these bubbles in different cities, and then I think the Miami one might have had fans. Just how do you stay focused and keep your fighter in check and just not let the surroundings affect him and stuff?
I mean it's difficult. Look, we've been locked up in the hotel here for 3 days. We haven't been able to walk outside, breathe fresh air, go for a walk. We're stuck in our rooms, walking up and down the hallway. We're all in our cafeteria. Our opponents are in the same room as we are, which is rare. But it is what it is. I mean, we're living through different times, difficult times. We're going through this COVID situation, which I believe will be over really, really soon. From the information that I'm gathering with the different promoters, it looks like things are going to start slowly get back to normal again, and that's what we all want. We want to get back to normal.
You got a large stable of fighters. You want to just give us an update on what they're all up to, and we can expect in the future from your stable?
Yeah, well, look, We'll be working with Michaela Mayer, world champion. She's going to make the first defense of her title on June 19th. And I got another kid that fights on the same day, but he fights in Texas. So Edgar Estrellita is going to that one. Máquina. What else? Let's see. We got the fighter Batir fighting on Saturday. And we got some fights lined up for June, later in June, early July. I mean, we just got back, like I said, from Vegas last week with a great fight. That we had out there. And,
you were out there for the Taylor Ramirez fight.
Taylor Ramirez fight. It was an awesome fight. We fought on the undercard, and we won unanimous decision for one of Robert Garcia's kids. Someone I look up to, and I had nothing but the utmost respect for in Robert.
People felt that the decision should have gone the other way. You want to just comment on it?
Everybody's entitled to their decision.
Their opinion.
Their decision, their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. At the end of the day, I respect that. I give my opinion, and some people may agree, may not, and you may have your opinion, and I respect your opinion. And that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun. We can't all pull for the same guy. We can't all pull for the same team. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So at the end of the night, the judges had us winning by unanimous decision. I looked at the scorecards, and they all scored the fight the same. They all scored the same rounds. They were all looking at the same thing. So we won the fight, and I can see how some people might be upset about that, or might have their own opinion or difference of opinion. But hey, I respect that, and it is what it is. And Robert's been there himself, I'm sure. Like I said, Robert and I, after the fight, we shook hands. We talked. We were good friends. We understand that this has nothing to do with him or I, and that's the business that we're in. You win some, you lose some, and in this case, we were declared the winners, and who knows, on the next one it might be different.
Like always, Manny, it's a pleasure talking to you. Appreciate the time, man, and good luck on Saturday. I'll see you there.
I appreciate that.